Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Headlines that I'm pleased to present. The top stories. The national government private sector meeting closed on Tuesday in Bobo-Dioulasso. Debate centered on structural transformation and urgent digital challenges, including high internet costs and the poor service quality. The Prime Minister hailed the constructive dialogue and urged economic actors to back the President's vision. Burkina Faso leads the path to African liberation, according to former President of the Republic of South Africa, Jacob Zuma, granted an exclusive interview to the television of Burkina Faso. 66th anniversary of Radio Burkina. The staff and Afro-descendants lay pavements to support the Faso Mebo initiative. Faso Mebo is inspirational, according to Afro-Americans. The national government private sector meeting closed its doors last Tuesday in Bobo-Dioulasso, held under the theme Infrastructure Development, Challenges, Issues, and the Patriotic Commitment for a Sustainable Economy. The 22nd edition brought together nearly 800 economic actors over 2 days. They discussed with the government on the major issues of Burkina Faso structural transformation. Discussion focused on assessing previous recommendations and addressing challenges in the digital sector, particularly the high cost and the poor quality of internet services. The government announced several ongoing initiatives: the Zero White Zone project to ensure nationwide 3G, 4G coverage, the construction of 2 data centers, the deployment of a new communication network for the public administration, and commitments with operators to improve broadband quality. The private sector, through its representative, reaffirmed its support for these structural projects. Closing the meeting, Prime Minister Rimtalba Jean-Emmanuel Ouedraogo praised the constructive dialogue and called on economic operators to back the vision of the President of Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traoré. On the sidelines of the government private sector meeting, the Prime Minister, representing the head of state, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, officially launched the activities of the National Support Center for the Artisanal Transformation and of Cotton, the SINATAC. Rimtalba Jean-Emmanuel Ouedraogo welcomed the commissioning of this strategic infrastructure, which he described as a strong symbol of President Traoré's vision, a vision that places local processing and the promotion of national expertise at the heart of Burkina Faso's economic development. With this center, we are providing our artisans with a modern and efficient tool to meet the challenges of competitiveness and innovation, the head of government stated, estimated at over 1.5 billion CFA francs. The SINATAC is the result of cooperation between Burkina Faso and Italy. The facility includes weaving, dyeing, and tailoring workshops, along with training and incubation spaces. As part of the inauguration, 180 young trainees from the first cohort received installation kits. Unfortunately, when African countries make economic progress, the imperialist powers do not celebrate it. Worse still, these oppressors prefer to see African nations in constant conflicts rather than focused on fully liberating the continent from neocolonialism, according to former President of the Republic of South Africa, Jacob Zuma. He stated that Burkina Faso, under the leadership of Captain Ibrahim Traoré, is showing the way forward. Listen to Jacob Zuma in this excerpt from the interview he granted exclusively to the television of Burkina Faso.
The problem that we have is that oppressors have oppressed us in such a way and for so long that our people began to feel generally that this Africa does not belong to them, belong to people who arrived here. And it is not true. And it is our duty to clear that and know that we need to be together. Part of the reason we have problems in our continent, the people who are more doing that are the oppressors that came to oppress us. They want us not to concentrate in liberating our country fully. They want us to keep on fighting. That's why in this continent, more than any other continent, there are more problems, and they're among ourselves. And if we just sit and look, we will never say we are now free fully. And I think the leadership here has done something very, very important for the continent.
The full interview will air tomorrow, Sunday, at 6:30 p.m. on the television of Burkina Faso and its online platforms. The contribution of refrigeration to Africa's development. This topic was the focus of an international conference held last Wednesday in Ouagadougou. This edition, the first of its kind, was organized by the Union of Associations of Refrigeration and Air Conditioning Actors in collaboration with the government. It brought together refrigeration experts from about 20 countries. They discussed the theme, the refrigeration sector, a new factor with economic, environmental, and people's freedom implications. Madisa Kande, chairman of the union, gives us more details.
We start here from Burkina Faso, but we want all Africans to be aware about the refrigeration. Refrigeration is the secret to develop Africa. We cannot develop our continent without giving added value to our production. I would like just to remember you that 80% of African population are living in rural area. And in rural area, there are three main activities: agriculture, breeding, and fishing where there is water. And the production coming from those activities, we need refrigeration sector, we need the cold chain to be sustainable. Definitely, this conference is to give more awareness to our policymakers to understand that the refrigeration is not a luxury. It's never been a luxury. We need to address this mistake to develop our continent. We need freedom of our people. We cannot get any freedom if we are not able to feed our people. Because if you feed your people are free. If you keep them dying from hunger, disease, it seems like that the continent, cradle of humanity, we are still dying because of the first disease of mankind, meaning hunger. Only in Africa, people are still dying because of hunger. And we have refrigeration that can preserve the food self and allow Africans to have food self-sufficiency and to develop our continent. We used to see development as building road, big cars. That has the consequences of the development. The development first start by feeding your people. If your people, you are able to feed your people, this is the first step. This is the development. Then you will have a big road, you will have a big car, the buildings. That has the consequences of the development. But if you don't feed your people, you can bring the material for the construction. They will start to steal it, to sell, to get something to eat. This is a big issue we have to address. So refrigeration in this conference, I hope all Africans who are listening to me and we are seeing through your broadcasting that refrigeration need definitely to be taken in consideration urgently in the political action in African countries.
October the 25th, 2025 marked the 66th anniversary of Radio Burkina. This anniversary was celebrated by the personnel who contributed to Faso Mebo. They laid paving stones on the Thomas Sankara Boulevard. They were joined by Afro-descendants who came to show their support to the presidential initiative. Faso Mebo is an indigenous initiative which is inspirational, said Sule Ami Abdul Rashid, an Afro-American from Georgia.
I'm here this morning to participate in this Faso Mebo project. Very, very inspirational and touching. I kind of like was sharing tears this morning, just looking at observing the youth taking pride in building their country. I wish even youth in America had the same resemblance as these youth here in Burkina Bay. They take pride in their country. They got a lot of respect and honor for their country, and I really like that. That's really inspirational and appealing to me. And we're here for a conference here in Ouagadougou, and so far it's been a wonderful and uplifting experience. I think it's good. It'll be a good thing for the country because they don't need aid, outside aid. The strength is in the people. And when the people take a responsibility of building a country with their own hands, you know, there's more significance in that, and they understand what that means. You see, and it's just overall, it's a great experience, wonderful experience to build on their own without the aid and pooling your resources together. You see, you will get more out of it, more things accomplished, or pulling your resources together. And coming here from where I'm from, America, personally, I can say that's where I want to make a contribution also in terms of the development of Burkina Faso.
Ouagadougou is getting ready to host the International Business and Cooperation Fair, the third edition scheduled for November. The 27th to the 30th will bring together more than 100 companies from Turkey and several countries in the sub-region. The managers of Business, the organizers of the event, presented the new features planned for this 2025 edition. Here are some details from the CEO of Business, Mohamed Dabo.
I would like to thank you for coming, all of the journalists for coming. So this fair, IBC fair, is the International Business and Cooperation Fair that will be from the 27th to 30th November 2025 in Burkina Faso at the CIO place. So this fair actually is the international fair where we are calling all investors, especially investors in Turkey. There is Chinese also investors and businessmen. Those investors to come to Burkina Faso in order to make business. For example, this fair, International Business and Cooperation Fair, we have organized 2 editions. This is the 3rd edition. And this 3rd edition, what we want to do is to make like a very big edition. So when the businessman comes, they have opportunity, first of all, to come with the product, to expose their product, to, if possible, to sell the product at the same time. Also, Burkina Faso companies also can expose their products and also sell their products at the fair place.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's news program is over. Thanks for watching and stay tuned. Goodbye.